Wednesday morning. I totally forgot to jump on here like I normally do before I get ready for my day. I don't know why. It was a pretty relaxing morning. We had plenty of time and I just forgot. But it is Wednesday, September 25th. Went to my workshop last night, did my weigh-in. It was not pretty. It's all good. So I will go over that and the meeting highlights with you. Actually, I think we'll do that now because I have a little bit of time before I have to start my day. So let me get that set up. Okay, so start with the weigh-in. I did not weigh in last week. Right? Yes, I did not weigh in last week. And then last night at my weigh-in, I gained 2 pounds. I don't know if you can see that. So I am at 137.2, which is a little out of my comfort zone. 1.2 pounds to be exact, out of my comfort zone. I like to be between 134 and 136. So we will work this week to get rid of that. I had a really good week eating. I'm not quite sure where that came from. I wasn't expecting that. Could be hormonal. There's a lot of hormonal stuff going on right now since I've turned 51. So could be partially that, not sure, but I was a little shocked. But that's okay. It is what it is, and we'll just work to get it back off. And the rest, or the meeting topic, it's early. It was live your why. You know, they recycle the same topics over and over and over because there's only so many things you can talk about, I guess. But I believe that the why is very important. And I believe as we are on our journey that the why changes. My why when I started my journey was health reasons. I was on blood pressure medication and I had a minor health scare with that. I thought it was a lot more major than the doctor did, but that's all I needed, that kick in the butt. That and the picture that, you know, I saw of myself. If I remember, I'll try to insert it after this clip, the picture that pushed me over the edge. You've all seen it before, but I'll try to throw it in. And mostly it was the health scare with my blood pressure. I'm like, you know what? It's 100% weight related. I know it is. I could fool myself and say, oh, it's not, you know, it's hereditary. My parents had high blood pressure and, you know, no, bull crap. It was weight related. And once I owned that, then I could do something about it. You know, the doctors would always say, oh, you know, lose a few pounds and you feel better, lose a few. Yeah. Well, you know what? They're right. And we ignore that because we don't want to hear it. But most things are weight related. And, you know, I went from taking 100 milligrams of the blood pressure medicine I was on was called Cozar. The first 30 pounds I lost, they reduced it to half. And then when I hit goal, they cut that in half again. I was down to 25, and they don't take you off completely. He said it needed to be weaned. So when I was at goal, I was at 25, and then the next time I went back 6 months after that, I am off of it completely. So it is a wonderful thing. And that was my original why. Well, now that that's kind of taken care of, my why has shifted. And now it is better overall health and movement and, you know, just a better life. And I want to be able to get down on the floor eventually when I have grandchildren. Hopefully that won't be for 10 years. I want to be able to get down on the floor and play with them. I want to be flexible. I want to be able to move my body. A body in motion stays in motion. And that's my why now, is to feel good enough to stay in motion. I mean, you know, I feel good enough to run 3 miles, and I feel good enough to sign up for 5Ks, and I love that. I also love clothes shopping now. I know that sounds shallow. I know it does, and I apologize, but it's who I am. I never liked shopping for clothes because I never looked good in anything. Nothing ever fit right. Now, much to hubby's dismay, I enjoy clothes shopping, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm having a good time with it. And that's my why now is to wear fun, cute clothes. And I know that's a shallow reason. I know that. Health is my number one. But you know what? There's other stuff too. And plus I have all these new clothes, and my why has to stay because I can't afford another new wardrobe. Can't do it. So I have to stay at goal. So that's just, it's how it is. Things evolve. And they talked about living your why. That, sometimes when a week doesn't go as planned, we can't throw our why out the window. My week didn't go as planned, but you know what? I just refocus, remember my why. My why is to be able to move better. And with a couple extra pounds, that's not going to happen. I need to refocus. I need to remember. And that's what it's all about. What did we do to get closer to our scale goals? What was our why to get closer? They tell you to envision your why. See yourself doing that. If you want to move better, if you want to be able to go on a hike, if you want to be able to run, envision yourself doing that. Get that mental picture of it, and it will help you stick to your goals. When you go to reach for that tasty cake, see yourself running across the finish line of a 5K if that's what you want, or see yourself sitting on the floor playing with your grandchildren. It'll make you think twice about grabbing that tasty cake. Number 2, they say, is to review your week. Think about what you did and acknowledge anything that threw you off course. Were there events that got in the way? And where did you spend your time? What challenged you? Bring your why into that. If you're training to do a race, we're just going to use that. We're just going to use training to do a race. Your why can be anything. What threw you off course that you missed some training days? Were you tired? Were you not feeling well? What threw you off course, and what can you adjust for next time? If your why is to get off your medication and you had a not so great week, what threw you off course? And remember that, those extra pounds are going to make you stay on that medication. That kind of thing. You have to visualize and you have to review. Number 3 is give yourself credit. Give yourself credit for what went right. What goals did you work towards obtaining your why? You may have not eaten the best, but you exercised an extra day, or you may have missed some exercising, but you know what? You kind of stayed low on points on a couple days to make up for that. Or, you added some healthy fats that you haven't been adding, or some good grains. What worked for you? What did you do to accomplish that why? And number 4 is to pick a small goal. If you can't think of any why-related actions you took, just choose something today that you can do, a small goal to work towards your why. And maybe it's time to start thinking about changing your why. If you've already met that first one, mix it up. Our why is going to change as our journey changes. So don't be so focused on that one thing. Write your whys down. Remember your whys. Look at your list all the time. A gentleman at our workshop last night has a list in his phone of 5 whys. And he has a timer set, and they pop up 5 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack time. And he sees those before he eats, and that helps him. It helps him remember to stay the course. I thought that was a really cool idea. So anyway, I believe, oh no, I thought my day was starting. But it's not yet. So, but I've talked long enough, and I am going to let you go. So live your why. Live your why, because that's important. This is 99% mindset. If you are not ready, if your mind is not there, it is not going to work. It can be whatever plan. It doesn't have to be WW. It can be keto. It can be Whole30. It can be counting calories. If you don't have the mindset and you don't have the why, it is not going to work. Nothing will work. You have to be ready. You have to be ready, and you have to want to do this. You have to want this more than anything else. You do. And sometimes we forget that. I forget that. I've been Lifetime for almost a year, and I forget that. So just remember your why. And the recipe is turkey pesto meatballs. You get 4 meatballs for 6 points. They are 1.5 inch. So they're pretty tiny. I don't know. These recipes always seem kind of high to me. It's 1¼ pounds of ground lean turkey, 7% fat or less. Now see, if it's the 93 turkey, you have to count the meat. If it's the 99% turkey, you don't have to count it. I don't eat ground turkey, so I would use beef. A cup of whole wheat breadcrumbs, an egg, reduced fat prepared pesto. I have never ever seen reduced fat pesto in my store. Maybe I'm not looking in the right place, but it's never with the rest of the jarred pestos. And a ½ teaspoon of salt. I mean, yeah, I could make my own pesto, but sometimes jar is easier. So they look good, but I don't know. I kind of like the IKEA frozen meatballs, if you want the truth. I'm not a big meatball fan, except unless they're Swedish meatballs from IKEA. Or my mommy's meatballs. I do miss my mommy's meatballs, because I can't make them like she can. My niece Stacy can, though. She's really good at it. I'm going to have Stacy make me some meatballs. Anyway, I've chit-chatted long enough, and I will be back in a little bit to show you my breakfast. It was supposed to be hummingbird cake overnight oats. I forgot to make them last night. When I got home from my workshop, we were eating dinner, and hubby and I were chit-chatting, and next thing I knew, I was packing lunches and going to bed, and I completely forgot to make my oats. So I will be making them today for tomorrow. So I'm not quite sure what I'm having for breakfast yet. It's going to be a surprise to me and to you. I do have one breakfast prep left in there of egg bites, but I don't think I want them. I'll just send those tomorrow with hubby. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling some, I don't know, maybe some French toast in a mug. We'll see. It'll be a surprise to both of us. So anyway, remember your why, and I will be back shortly. So breakfast this morning are 3 mini birthday cake waffles and 2 of the Jimmy Dean turkey sausage patties. So 6 points for breakfast. I had a little bit of time during lunch, so I made a batch of 2 ingredient dough bagels, which mine are more than 2 ingredients because I don't use self-rising flour. I use regular flour with the other stuff added to it. So whip those out during lunch because I have got to have these in my house at all times. They are lifesavers. I will link the recipe in the description box below in case you are interested. For lunch today, I am having a 2 ingredient dough bagel, the ones I just made. I threw it in the toaster, toasted it up a little bit, and I have egg salad. It's just 2 hard-boiled eggs with a tablespoon of mayonnaise, salt and pepper, and a single-serve bag of poppables. So 3 points for the bagel, 1 point for the egg salad because of the tablespoon of mayonnaise, and 2 points for the poppables. So it is a 6-point lunch today, and I will probably throw some fruit in there at the end. It is after lunch, and I decided to have a cup of my Teamy Alive tea that I usually have most afternoons. It's a nice little pick-me-up for when you need that extra energy to get through the rest of your day. And I'm having it in my Teamy tumbler, which is the most awesome tea tumbler ever because of the little filter. You can put your loose tea in the bottom and not have to worry about it. If you're interested in any of the Teamy teas, I do have a link in my description box below that will give you a discount. So here is dinner tonight. It is chicken and potatoes in a creamy garlic Parmesan sauce. There's the potatoes, there's the chicken, and delicata squash. It is 5 points for the chicken and potato casserole thing, and 0 for the delicata squash. So it is a 5-point dinner tonight. So I just want to tell you, dinner was so delicious. It was so good. Definitely going on the regular rotation. I did film a cook with me. I don't know if that'll be up tonight or tomorrow, whenever my computer and my phone decide to be nice to each other, but I will work on that. It was really good. So and for 5 points, like that's what is, like, I checked it twice. It's killing me that it was only 5 points. Awesome. What else? After I got done cleaning up from dinner, I jumped in the bathtub to get a nice relaxing bath, and my sister called she's like, I'm sure you know this already, but you know Survivor starts tonight, right? I was like, what? We have been watching Survivor since the very, 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 very first episode 32 seasons ago. As a matter of fact, my entire family was so into Survivor the first season, we had a party at our house for the finale, and I went nuts. If you know anything about Survivor, like I printed out invitations on the computer, like on a parchment type paper, and I like burnt the edges and I rolled them in scrolls, and I went to everybody's house and I hung them in the trees in their front yard, and like I called everybody. I'm like, you have tree mail. That's a Survivor thing, tree mail. And like it was a whole big long poem about the season and about all the characters. And we had a party at my house to watch the finale, and all the food was like Survivor based. Like that season they were roasting rats because, you know, they had no food. So like we had roasted rat legs, which were chicken wings, and they were farming tapioca. So we had tapioca pudding. Like it was so much fun. So we have been into Survivor since day one. And I honestly, between work and crafting and YouTube and my website and my Facebook group, I never have time to watch TV anymore. I don't. And honestly, there's really nothing on that motivates me to watch TV. So I haven't seen any commercials. I didn't know it was coming on. Thank God my sister called me. So I got out of the tub. I would have seen it because we do have a DVR, and I'm sure when I went to check the DVR for anything interesting, I would have seen it on there. I do like some cooking shows. I do DVR those and watch those when I'm bored. Like the Great British Baking Show and MasterChef. And there's another one, Great Holiday Baking Challenge or something it's called. I don't know. Hang on one second. Adam's screaming for me. Sorry, we had to change the Netflix password and Adam didn't know what it was. Where was I? Oh, so like they're the kind of things I like to watch, and I just DVR them because I never know when they're on, and then when I'm bored, I flip through. So I would have seen it on the DVR, but I'm so excited. So I've rambled long enough. I am going, and it's always tradition for me to have a bag of popcorn while I watch Survivor. And I've got 7 points left, so I can easily fit in a 3-point bag of popcorn. And I make my popcorn, I take a brown paper bag, and I put 4 tablespoons of kernels in. 3 tablespoons is 3 points. I put 4 in because there's always at least a tablespoon that does not pop. And I want all my popcorn. So I put 4 tablespoons in, fold down the bag, and toss it in the microwave for about 2.5 minutes. And that's how I make my popcorn. That way I'm not using the microwave bags that have nothing but like, I don't know, chemicals and stuff in them. And I don't have an air popper anymore. We used to back in the, I don't know, 90s or whatever. So I just throw it in a paper bag and throw it in the microwave, and I love it. And I just add a little popcorn salt to it, or nutritional yeast, and it's all good. So I'm gonna go make my popcorn. I'm gonna watch Survivor, and I will talk to you tomorrow for a full day of eating, and look for that cook with me, and that's it. Thanks again, guys. Have a fantastic night. And you know the whole subscribe, all that. I'm not even gonna go there. See you later. Yeah, I'm back. I'm going to add in a scrapbook layout I did of our Survivor party. I forgot to mention that everyone came dressed as their favorite Survivor character. So it was a lot of fun. So I will insert my scrapbook page right after this clip. See you later, guys.